Recently, I came across a post that honestly gave me chills. A programmer at a major tech company said he just walked out of a meeting, and his first reaction was, "The sky is falling." Here's what happened. Their boss announced that by June, the entire company will fully transition to AI. Every team must build an AI agent. From that point on, all product requirements will go through the agent, not engineers. And engineers? They're no longer allowed to directly modify business code. They can only modify the agent. Let that sink in. In simple terms, you are being asked to spend the next 3 months building something that will eventually replace you, and it doesn't stop there. The boss added one more thing. By October, the best performing teams will take over the agents built by the weaker teams, which basically means some teams survive, the rest don't. After the post went up, the author asked a simple question. Is 2026 the year every big tech company goes all in on AI? And the reaction was immediate. People started updating resumes, downloading job apps, looking for a way out. There was one comment that got the most likes. It only said one thing. This feels like people being forced to dig a hole and only realizing at the end that it's their own grave. That analogy is brutal, but it's also uncomfortably accurate. You think you're building something valuable. You think you're participating in transformation. But in reality, you might be accelerating your own replacement. And this isn't just one company. This is happening everywhere. In China, in the US, across the entire tech industry. Companies are pushing AI harder than ever, not because they want to, but because they have to. There are reports everywhere, entire teams being restructured around AI, front-end roles shrinking, companies cutting employees while investing heavily in AI tooling. Even companies that built their success on human labor are now replacing that labor with models. And this wave feels different from previous layoffs. Before, companies cut teams because projects failed. Now, they cut because your job can be done by AI. Or at least partially. There's a recent statistic that really stands out. AI can theoretically handle about 94% of programming-related tasks. In real-world production today, it's closer to 33%. That gap is important, but think about what 33% actually means. If your team has 10 engineers, you might only need 7. Right now, not in the future, just right now. And that number is not static. A year ago, it was much lower. Next year, it could be 50%, then 70%. This isn't linear growth, it's exponential. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Some companies went all in on AI, fired large numbers of employees, and then had to hire people back. There's a well-known example where a company replaced hundreds of support roles with AI, then realized AI couldn't handle complex human interactions, so they rehired. But not all of them, just a fraction. That's the real pattern. AI doesn't eliminate the need for people entirely. It compresses the number of people needed. I've also seen engineers say, AI-generated code works. It runs. It's fast. But when something breaks, it's actually harder to debug than human-written code. And that's true, for now. But even that gap is closing. AI is getting better not just at writing code, but at fixing its own mistakes. So what's really happening here? A lot of people describe this as AI replacing programmers. But that's not quite right. What's actually happening is deeper. The entire way software is built is changing. Before, humans wrote code. Now, AI writes code, and humans supervise. Which leads to a much more uncomfortable question. If AI becomes stable enough, how many humans do you actually need? So what do you do in this situation? There are a few obvious paths. You can try to be the best team, the one that builds the most powerful agent, the one that survives. You can treat this as an opportunity. Learn how to build AI systems. Move into roles where you design and control these agents. Or you can shift toward areas AI struggles with: ambiguous problems, system-level thinking, human coordination. But here's the uncomfortable truth. All of these are temporary advantages. AI is improving across all of them. So regardless of which path you choose, there is one thing that is absolutely clear. You cannot afford to ignore this shift. Because AI is not your competition. Someone using AI better than you is. And when this transition finishes, the gap between those two groups will be massive. So the real question is not, will AI replace programmers? It's, are you building the system or are you being replaced by it? That's the decision everyone is making right now, whether they realize it or not. If you found this useful, feel free to follow along. More conversations like this are coming.